So much for everyone, especially those who prepare this ceremony. It takes a lot of practice and effort. Not everybody get a chance to actually do a ceremony like this. Thank you so much, and the MSC leadership, my sponsor Bill, and your group, participants in the ceremony on this time honored, as you mentioned, Captain. Thank you. And to Emma's Creation for that special clip. Thank you. First, thank you to all my honored guests, Captain Hugo for being my retirement officer, and Asif Mallow, thank you for that really humbling introduction. And it was a great time you serving on board minutes together. And thank you for being such a good mentor. Thank you so much. And Chas, thanks for a good prayer. And of course, Butch, thank you for leading this ceremony. I really appreciate that I picked you because you embodies everything, Navy counselors, and also the social media part, something that we relate to each other, including the bonsai. I'll catch up with you because that was my passion when I was in high school. But we'll get there. Thank you so much again for those who came over. I was going to mention by distance. I know I invited a few in DC and California. Unfortunately, they couldn't come, so we'll go the farthest one, probably from Switzerland. My auntie Lola for traveling just for the location, representing my mom and dad. Couldn't make it, so thanks for coming over. To my nanay and Emmy, thank you, from the Philippines. Actually, you could represent my dad, couldn't make it. So thank you. Thank you again for those of you, my fellow MCs, my fellow chiefs, and the civilian friends, mostly from Grace Bible. I've been in so many ceremonies, and all have certain script. Sorry, I have to drink some water. Allergy. And part of it that is different is how you talk about your 20 years in the Navy, and that makes it different. You have to follow certain scripts, but this is something special, especially to whom this is dedicated. And that makes it really special. Much of this talk can now easily be posted on our Facebook page, and talk about it in front of this many good people that showed up. But I'll do both to accommodate most of my friends who couldn't make it, especially that, over 16 years in California, 19 years in the West Coast, and in other parts of the world. I just want to express this history and my thank you and how I completed this 23 years, this amazing adventure. These are all for you. About 3 to 6 months before I joined the Navy, enlisted, I think it's winter of '90, if there's such winter in the Philippines. I was working with American Express as a travel clerk, financial, and after that, I was looking for a promotion. I applied for a bigger job position, and I got accepted, and I also got accepted to join the Subic program to have to join the enlisted side. So now I'm torn between these two jobs, and so I asked my dad. He brought it up, and he said, "Do you want dollars or pesos?" So he even consulted a palm reader or a psychic. And the psychic said, "Oh, I see your son traveling across the world wearing whites. He's going to be a great doctor." But I work with financial institutions. I'm supposed to be an economist. But so it's in history. So lesson learned. I'm going to incorporate some lesson learned for the younger troops, part of a counseling session for you guys. So first lesson is don't consult a psychic. It's a sin, right, Pastor? It's a sin. See, they're not even accurate. Okay, so now I'm wearing whites. I hope the psychic saw this part. During my oath taking in Subi, it was the first and last time that I saw my mom and dad together because they were divorced. There's no divorce in the Philippines, but they separated when I can remarry and stuff like that. Because they separated when I was 5 or 6 years old. That's the first time I saw them again, and the last time I saw them again together in photo. It wasn't on that clip, but it's on the other clip that will be posted later on social media where my dad showed up for my oath taking in a photo while they both witnessed it in January of '91. Notice I mentioned about the lesson learned, take a job because of money. That won't last, because I got out halfway through my Navy career because I took the Navy's jobs for the money. And I didn't have passion, so halfway through I got out. But we'll go back to that story. Fast forward, my first tour was with the USS Independence carrier homeported in Yokosuka, Japan. 2 years where I experienced amazing places like Australia, Dubai, when it was just sand and mosque. You know, amazing how Dubai turned out now. I remember that. Being forward deployed in Japan is when I started to appreciate other cultures in Asia. And there I also met Lelaine, Jose's family, and Joyce and Lito. Thanks for coming over. It's been a great time in Japan. And those others who couldn't make it, a lot of them are either in Hawaii or somewhere in the West Coast. They said West Coast is cooler than the East Coast. So they didn't follow suit. They're wrong. This is the best kept secret. I'll talk more about that. There I also met my half-sister who couldn't make it today. I have to mention her because we haven't met for 26 years, and the first time I met her in Japan. That's where we also had our mini reunion when my dad and brother went on board on a Tiger cruise. Went underway for 3 days from Hong Kong to Japan. That was a highlight because my dad met a few ambassadors and vice president, or Walter Mondale, forgot the other guy's name, but anyway, it's not on my speech. Lesson 2, those younger sailors, here I am counseling, okay? Overseas in relationship, or overseas duty and relationship with other cultures opens your mind and help you empathize with diverse people and other nationality, because, I guess I was going to mention here, but it's not here. If you're in that community, you will appreciate their personality and stuff. So go overseas, okay? From Japan, I transferred back to Ventura County in California with the CBs, NMCB-5. That's when I discovered I was at home in CBs. And I love CBs, got my first 2 homes there because I thought I was in a homestead. And that's where I grew up as a sailor. Completed my master's and became Sailor of the Year, and I was at PSD, Point Magoo and Port Hueneme, and joined the reserve. I got out, I became hard-headed and said I can do it. I got out, joined the 2nd Brigade, the Seabees also. During that course of time, I was finishing my divinity courses, and so they accepted me on the chaplaincy program in the Air Force. Unfortunately, I didn't. I said, I don't think I'm going to be a youth pastor or a chaplain. So I went back to the Seabees, back to New and that's when I started learning my passion is for sailors and becoming a sailor again, because I missed those deployments. So I went back, thanks to my compadre, Chris Dye, couldn't make it, and keeps on insisting, you gotta go back to the Navy. And that's when I started to realize, I'm an advocate for staying Navy. I became a counselor. So lessons learned for you guys, have a backup job and be passionate with what you do. This is when I go back to my first story. Don't take it for the money. Take the job because you love it. You have a passion for it. And be passionate in what you do. Okay? If you lose that passion, you're actually working. Okay? Have a backup join the reserve. And then when I came back active duty with the CBs again. I requested for that specifically to stay in Fort Wayne NMC before they sent me right away to Spain for that 8-month deployment. And that's when, during that transition, when I was in reserve, that's where I met my lovely wife. We actually met on America Online. That's the first social media. And she won't send me the picture. She wants to get to know me or get to know her first. So we met at chat room. We discovered how many things we had in common. And found out we went to the same university, same building, you know, what 5 years back? So who knows if I bumped her in the 88th or 89. We continued to love texting when I was in Spain. And while I was there, we planned a wedding, but 9/11 happened, and so they were restrictions on going overseas, so that was canned. And instead I asked her to come over to the States. So lessons learned, maybe you guys should take advantage of social media or something. But use the good of technology, not the bad, okay? And there are some goods on it, okay? Back then it was America Online, but, you know. So I actually got married with her a week after I picked her up from LAX while I was in NC school, because I couldn't wait. Well, I was in Navy A school, Navy Counselor A school. I sneaked her on the Navy Lodge, and you know, 1 week prior to graduation, we had a simple wedding after the graduation, and we had the after reception at the San Diego Animal Park with some friends from Fort Wayne that came over. I then got orders back to, again, I requested to be with the CBs, but they said you have to go back to BAW 116 Hawkeye in Point Mugu, same area. That's my first Navy counselor tour. My son came about 3 months before my 8-month deployment on board USS Lincoln. It was Mila's most challenging ordeal. Being less than a year in the U.S., he doesn't know anybody over there, plus she has to take care of my mom, my baby Sam. Considering she was also the ombudsman for my squadron, it's about 250 personnel. She did a good job, you know. That is one great example of a wife's sacrifice, sailor's wife sacrifice. So what do you think is the lesson here? Network, develop friendship outside of your Navy family, maybe outside your, the community, the church, school, community group. In my wife's case, with every Chamber of Commerce, she's a businesswoman now, and a spouse group, things like that. So that should help the burden of deploying husband. I was then promoted to chief 1 year after I checked in with the Naval Submarine Support Facility in Groton. Again, when I moved there, I thought that was the best kept secret also. But we loved Groton, considering the snow, so we bought our second home there. But again, this is our first coast-to-coast move, and it became an exciting tradition for us. So I don't mind being moved by the Navy because we take advantage of those coast-to-coast moves. To see the Americana. So I think we only haven't seen 3 states, 2 states. So far we did the 4 coast-to-coast move, different routes. Take advantage and time given to you. That's one of the lessons learned. There are time for you to enjoy. Take advantage of that. Use your benefits in the Navy wisely. So back, I thought I was going to settle in Groton, try to get orders to Rhode Island. So I said, no, you have to go back to California because this will help your promotion. There's an ISIC job there. So back to California, but this time in Lemoore, California. Okay, you know what that place is, right? For 4 years, and that's one of the best deployment I had on board USS Nimitz. Develop a network of friends in the Central Valley community. But then after that 4 years, Sam said because my wife's network, we have to move back to the East Coast when I got accepted for another TICOM, this time a TICOM duty with Military SEAL Command for my last active duty tour. And this is how I ended up in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. I'm so grateful to have earned the relationship of most of you here within this short period of 16 months here in Hampton Roads. With that in mind, we've kind of decided 2 weeks ago when we found this home that Virginia Beach is going to be our official home. When they asked us, where are you from, Virginia? Instead of keep saying California, so I need to get my plate replaced in August. Because California is very bad in taxing me, and it's cheaper here, so. And I can be closer to all of you guys, if you don't mind. Okay? So officially, but I'm saving for that last, we didn't use the Navy move yet, so I still have a year, for the maybe dream job in New Orleans or somewhere. So, no? Okay. So my priority now is probably just to look a job somewhere in Little Creek, so I just have to bike to my work. Because I hate driving, long drive, so I have to finding a job within 5-mile radius from my home. So whatever job, okay? I already applied for a gym custodian somewhere in Virginia Beach. But we still have a year to use that move. And after that 23 years of moving, it's time to close this chapter of my life. This speech will continue online. I still have to discuss what's my plan for 23 years and what I've learned in 23 years. I hope to dialogue with you guys as I depart this great organization to learn from you guys who's been there and done that, civilians, mentors. We have a few who couldn't make it. The RSVP, they said they're coming. But unfortunately, you guys know who you are. Continue to seek your guidance from your accumulated wisdom, and for those who's been there. Considering I've been doing a lot of pre-separation counseling, for the past 10 years, I really needed some transitioning counseling myself. And right, embassy, you could tell, this transitioning is really, it's hard. It's not easy. Okay, I thought it was. It's not, so help me God. Now that I've told my story, time to recognize how I got here and those who inspired me. To my mom and dad for not being here. Sorry you couldn't make it today because of your distance and situation. To my mama, who is in California, thanks for those powerful prayers for me. My papa, living in the Philippines, thank you for teaching me to work hard and enjoy traveling and hiking in those dangerous places in Manila. Please get well soon. And to my son, Sam, my 9-year-old, who takes care of mom and dad by being the best in school. And here's what you've been asking for months. I know Dad's being stingy, but I want you to learn, away. But I got something for you. The MCGC, remember? The Minecraft gift card. He wants to have another account, so, and this is for you, and also your high-tech Pegasus 4D. So, I finally found out, because I tried to go to Fresh and Easy to get the MCGC card, they don't have it, so I have to scour it through somewhere. And so with all these changes, going through I've been married for maybe 10 years next month. 11. Sorry. Oh boy. With that in mind, I'd like to enter a new phase of commitment with you. That's something for you. I would like to offer this ring as a token to renew our vow. After, I guess, 11 years of marriage, and Chaps actually signed that as a witness. If you would take this and ask you. Sign the other witness for her, I guess, later on at the luncheon. Yes, thanks. I got no receipt. All right. We learned that when we're coming in here in the States, you know, in the U.S., they're very easy in doing refunds, and you don't like it. In the Philippines, you can't do that. Yeah. How easy it is to, you know, get your money back here. So, to my Navy mentors who couldn't make it here, I know it's not an excuse for them not to show up, right? But Ron, Dan, Curtis, be your boss. Oh, Sean is going to be your boss, so I'm sure he wants this. Glenn, sorry you couldn't make it, and I hope you read this transcript or liked it on YouTube. All military SEAL Command, the Fleet Forces Command, my fellow Navy counselors, if I could only state most importantly, to my Savior, I pray that you continue to give me and my family the strength and devotion to serve. Thank you for giving me angels like those who are here and across the world that couldn't make it today. They kept me honest and focused. Please keep it up, and thank you.